Alright, in this video I want to talk to you about how to organize a persuasive speech. One way to organize is to point out a problem and talk about a solution. Another is to point out a problem and call people to action. And that call to action or the solution should occur at the end of the speech. I want you to be honest about opposing views. Do not characterize people who disagree with you, for example, as Rush Limbaugh, who recently got the Medal of Freedom while he's dying of cancer and has spread hatred for his entire career. He likes to call women who stand up for themselves feminazis, which is an ad hominem attack, right? He does not recognize that women should be treated equally. Instead, he just dismisses them. So if you know that people disagree with you, you need to be honest about how they disagree with you and label it honestly. Instead, Rush Limbaugh could say, instead of name calling, he could say, women have historically been oppressed, even in our country. And that is why they believe that they should be treated equally. And then he could go off onto why he doesn't believe that, instead of just dismissing them as feminazis. Can you imagine? How many women do you know in your life who are Nazis, who would put babies in the oven, who would arrest people, who would separate their families and pull out their teeth? I don't know any. But he does not address that side. Instead, he appeals to the emotions of people and to the prejudices and racist beliefs that they have and misogynistic beliefs. And you might be thinking right now, well, maybe I mischaracterized Rush Limbaugh. Okay. I would encourage you to read the book, Rush Limbaugh is a Big Fat Liar. And then you can see if I mischaracterized him. Or you can tune into his show and listen to him making fun of the people who adore him. But he never states the opposing case in an accurate way. Another way to organize your speech is to say there's a problem and there's a solution. We have, for example, a global pandemic. Therefore, we should look to scientists and we should all wear masks, wash our hands, social distance, and avoid big gatherings, especially inside. That's a solution. And please do not repeat the ads that have gone out for texting while driving. Everybody's heard those. That's nothing new. What you are going to be talking about would be that is something that is new to many people. I had a student who did a very good argument for why a person should believe in Jesus. And he talked about, in a very polite way, about people who do not believe in Jesus or believe Jesus is God. And then he called people to action about why they should. And that was an A speech. Also, take into account, because you want to back yourself up with facts. And by facts, I mean statistics from reputable sources, like the CDC. But when you use statistics, you need to use analogies to make them come home, because when a person is speaking in front of an audience, the audience can't keep track of all of the math. So if I said, for example, that it is a crime that more than 30,000 people every year die in car accidents, and these are the things we need to do, it's hard for people to imagine 30,000 people. But if instead I said, according to blah blah.org, this is how many people die in car accidents. That would be the equivalent of the entire county population of Levy. Then people can bring it home. They can start to understand that, oh, these are really big numbers. So it's easy for me to say, for example, that 220,000 people plus have died of COVID-19 in the United States. Okay, so 220,000 sounds like a lot, but if I said that would mean the complete annihilation of the city I grew up in, there would be nobody on the streets. That makes the analogy come home with the statistic. Thank you. So be honest, make a call to action if it's necessary, provide a solution, and make analogies.